did they all stay? The answer to that will be coming up very shortly. Now, you may or may not know that, I've been away for a short while setting up a brand new channel, and it's still playing Football Manager, but it's the console version. I play it on the PS5. And that channel is ticking over, it's doing okay at the moment. But I did have thoughts about this main channel, the Gobby Gaffer channel. And obviously FM25 is delayed, hopefully coming out March of next year. Like I say, I did have thoughts about the fact that when the beta version comes out, I want to be involved in that. The beta version is only available on the PC. So, like I say, I want to be involved in that. So it made sense to come back here. And I'm probably going to use this channel to do some experiments and all of that kind of thing. And basically, this is where this idea has come from. I mean, if you don't know, again, I'm a Manchester City fan. And Manchester City, please don't come after me for this. This is just a fantasy save where I've seen a situation, all the content creators do it, you see a situation, and you apply it to Football Manager, and that's all I'm doing. I was going to say it's a bit of a fun save. I am not finding it very fun at all at the moment, being a Manchester City fan. I'm sure the rest of the world, are chuckling, very heartily, I suppose. So like I say, when the beta comes out, I will be playing that on this channel, and it will give me an insight, because I've said before in some of my tutorials and whatever that I think Sports Interactive are trying to get the PC version and the console version looking very similar. So if I play the beta version, it'll give me a heads up for when the console version comes out. And of course, like I say, I'm probably going to use this channel for not play-alongs like I did. I don't know yet, I haven't really decided, but certainly experiments. And, this is definitely going to be an experiment. So we're going to go into a role-playing mode now. Again, if it's the first time round here, I'm the Gobby Gaffer. It's a bit of a character I made for myself because, essentially, I'm very gobby. You will get to find that out. And the gaffer, it's a well-known affectionate term for the manager of a football team, the Gobby Gaffer. So like I say, we're going to go into role-playing fantasy mode for this save. And basically, what has happened is that we all know Manchester City having a disastrous run and nobody really can put the finger on why it's happening. So I've basically taken that to its ultimate, and Manchester City only won one more game all season, and that was Southampton away. And I'll just put the league table up again for you, just to show you we've finished below that dreaded white line, and we got relegated into the Championship. So the answer to the question of did all those superstar players stay with us? Well, I want to try and make this save as hard as I can. There's no objective to it. I think the objective is to try and get them back in the Premier League. Obviously, without those players, it's going to be very, very difficult. There's no objective. I'm not, winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League, all of that kind of silly stuff. If we can get somewhere near, get into a European competition, that would be fantastic. But I'm not setting myself too many objectives for this, because the beta version of FM25 should be out in around 8 or 9 weeks. So, but let's see how it goes. So, where did all of those players go to? Well, after extensive research, I can tell you. Bernardo Silva went to Real Madrid. He's got a current value of 133 million. Rodri went to PSG with a current value of 300 million. PSG will become a familiar sight in the next few moments. Josko Gvardiol went to Real Madrid and he has a current value of 158 million. Jeremy Doku is the only player who stayed in this country. Yes, he went to Newcastle and a current value of 208 million. Ederson, our superstar keeper, yes, again, it's PSG. And he has a current value of 125 million. Our Jack, and yes, again, it's PSG. I think they're going to have to rename themselves Manchester City FC, the the Paris version. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, our Jack went to PSG with a current value of 86 million. Kevin De Bruyne, once again, PSG, current value of 175 million. Ruben Dias, yes, you guessed it, PSG, current value 257 million. And no, I didn't forget him. Erling Haaland has gone to Real Madrid and a current value of 278 million. And my word, I bet PSG are glad we got relegated. At least half the team at PSG now is ex-Manchester City players. So a huge loss in the playing staff, not to mention a massive downfall in revenue and sponsorship. So what are we left with? Well, actually, because of the setup at Manchester City, the EDS there have some very, very good players in. So I think we should jump straight in and have a look at what we're going to do with this save. Because believe me, it not only is it going to be very difficult, it's going to be fascinating as well. Let's have a look. So just to run through the squad that we're left with, and there are some notable names in here, as you can see there. Oscar Bobby's still with us. Very, very good player. And he's not actually wanted by anybody, which is really, really good. I don't know whether I did say this in the intro, but I have run a test on this and it did seem to work very well. The one thing that didn't work well was Stefan Ortega couldn't get a work permit. So we are going to have to get rid of him and bring a new keeper in. But yeah, if we run down here, let's just have a quick look. So James McAtee, he's very unhappy at the moment. I've tried to offer him a new contract and he wants to move. He wants to move to a club that has a bigger, better squad. And he's wanted by Newcastle. So I'm guessing he will probably go. Katongo, a very, very good player. He's wanted by Luton. But I think we will be keeping hold of him. We can't let too many of these young players go because finances, I think, are going to be a bit of an issue. Just running down this list now, there's some names in there that are reasonably well known, some who are not so well known. We've got Jaden Heskey, who is Emil Heskey's son. So he's only a 1.5 star. He has got some potential. Simpson Pusey, we have actually seen him playing for the first team if you watched any of City's games this season, but he has only got a 1.5 star rating at the moment. Cabot looks a very, very good player. Nobody's after him. Phil Foden is still with us, a 5-star player, but he is wanted by, well, a host of Premier League clubs, and I think we are going to have to say goodbye to Phil Foden, unfortunately, because the way Football Manager works, even if I wanted to keep him, he would just get a grumpy on that I wasn't letting him go to a Premier League club. So we are going to have to let him go. And then just looking down here, like I say, there are some names that are reasonably well known. The lad who came in from River Plate, well, actually, at this moment in time, he's not actually here, but we're in May 2025 now in game. So he did arrive in January of 2025 and looks a very, very good player. I have been playing him at centre forward, but I think we're going to have to shuffle things round. And Callum Doyle is really weirdly not wanted by anybody. I'm not going to go through all of these players at this moment in time, but I will be going through them, and some of them will be leaving. So we'll have a look at the team nearer the the league season starting. But Callum Doyle, very, very good player, left-footed, 6'3", obviously centre-back material, but can play out on that left-hand side as well. So a very, very useful player, 4-star with the potential to be 5, and he's got a value of up to 28 million. Finances, I think, are going to be very up and down. The one thing on the test that did come out was the finances are quite volatile. So I think I've taken away the rich benefactor. I've set this all up in the pre-game editor, and I've done it all myself, so I've not used anybody's database. So I've set all of this up myself on a test. It seems to work. The finances are a little bit volatile, but it is just a bit of a fantasy save, this. So let's just see where it takes us. We have 42 million in the bank at the moment. You would expect that. The the chairman has just put 34 million in because we were running a bit near the well, we were sailing a bit close to the wind, put it that way. Like I say, the finances are going to be a little bit of a struggle. We do have a transfer budget of 11 million. Expect that to rise because I think the likes of Phil Foden and McAtee will go. And for decent money as well, I would probably think about 100 million for the two of those. So we will get some transfer budget in. Wage budget is very low, but I'm going to try and move some of that transfer budget into wage budget. But I think loan players maybe are going to be the order of the day. Well, initially anyway. The club vision, like I say, everything seems to be working reasonably well at the moment. And the club vision is to reach the Sky Bet Championship playoffs. So, like I say, it's working. That they're not asking me to win the Premier League. Well, we're not in the Premier League. So it does seem to be working. The pre-game editor does seem to have done a reasonable job. One or two things in there I couldn't change, and I've had to juggle other things to try and balance it out. But if anybody wants to know how I've done all this, I will make a separate video if anybody's interested. But yeah, so we've got to reach the playoffs. So there's no expectation of getting promoted this season. And this is a tactic that I'm thinking of using. It's probably similar to the one, well, it will be similar to the one I'm using over on the console version with, two wingers, like a deep-lying playmaker, a box-to-box or a Mazzala or something like that, couple of wing-backs. It looks a decent team, this, to me. To play in the Championship, this looks a decent team. And like I say, we will be getting some money in, I think. Foden and McAtee definitely will have to go. Because, if you've never played Football Manager before, it's all very well saying, oh, I'm not selling Phil Foden. You basically have to sell him. Because what will happen is you'll get a message in game, you've got an offer for him. Yes, you can reject it, but then within seconds, he'll have a grumpy on. He wants to, and yes, you can say, well, look, I'm not selling you for anything less than 90 million. But, when it's a player as good as Phil Foden, somebody will come in eventually with 90 million and you have to accept it. But, at this stage in this save, 90 million coming in with the finances quite volatile, should be good money coming in. And obviously, well, the object of this save is to rebuild Manchester City with former EDS players and new players coming in. Can we find the next Erling Haaland? Kevin De Bruyne? We'll have to see. So anyway, that's a setup story for you. I don't want to make this video too long because in my experience, videos that go 25-30 minutes, people just switch off. So I want to set this is part one. I want this just to be the setup of what I'm doing, what's happened, what my plans are and everything. I think it should be quite an interesting save, this one. And let's just see where it takes us. But I'm not going to do any more today. In the next video, we'll go more into what players we've got. And I'm going to go into a bit more detail in the transfer window than I normally do. If you watch any of my videos, normally I'll just come back with, yes, I've done these transfers and I think they're going to be brilliant, blah, 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 who have sold, who have bought. I'm going to do it a little bit more on the lines of a play-along, if you will. So we'll have a look at what Phil Foden's saying. We'll have a look at what McAtee is saying and, whether they get a grumpy on, whether we can sell them, who we sell them to, what players are bringing in, players on loan, players that I'm going to pay a little bit of money for. We're going to need a new goalkeeper. We're definitely going to need a striker because, the big man's gone and we need to replace him. Okay, like I say, don't want to make it too long, but I think hopefully you're going to stick with me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this and you are going to enjoy the save as a whole. And I'm going to finish it now. We'll come back, like I say, with a new video, and we're going to take this, what should be a very interesting save forward. And I hope you stick with me. So for now, the Gobby Gaffer signing off, and we'll see you very shortly. Well, hopefully we will.